I went and interviewed last year one of the tomb guards. I got down in
Mhm.
the tomb in the guard shack, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. I presented them with a book, uh, and interviewed one of the guard, the Sentinels. It was remarkable the history that they went through while they were there, showing me artifacts that it's only in that guard shack. There's the artifacts are there.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And then that's one thing I do like about the historical fiction too, because you do build these bonds. I built some bonds with the individual who did the World War I memorial in Washington D.C. We became really good friends, and my wife and I and my son actually got to go to the unveiling of that and to the after party where I met Kelsey Grammer and General Flynn. I met a lot of people
Yeah.
there, and now kind of enter into the Doughboy Foundation. So it's very interesting, uh, what you commonalities that you wouldn't think you would have with people, and you do.
And the thing that I found about those guys, especially um, the guys with stars on their shoulders, they get up in the morning, put on their pants just like
Oh
everybody
yeah,
else. They are the most
yeah.
down to earth, most intelligent, well educated people I have ever known in my life, but just down to earth. And like you, I mean, I saw the first time, not the first time, the third time I ever went to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. I was
Mhm.
with an honor flight, and I was taking Carmen's father to honor flight.
Oh,
He's
cool.
a Korean War vet,
Hmm.
and he's from Louisiana. They don't have an honor flight program, but Alaska does. So we worked him in to piggyback on an Alaska trip and flew to New
Yep.
Orleans and picked him up and took him there and so forth. I was at honor flight before I ever realized that as a Vietnam vet, you now qualify for honor flight. I mean, I didn't
Yes.
know that.
Yeah.
We never knew
Yep.
that.
Yep.
They didn't, in the beginning, it was all World War One, World War Two, and Korea.
Yep.
So, but had the same opportunity to go and chat with the guards after changing the guards. And it was one of the most moving experiences because,
Hmm.
oh my God, do they believe in what they're doing? There is no greater duty. And I can see that.
Yep.
I can
It's
see that.
interesting. It's interesting when I got out of the army, I got into technology, and we'd go into these meetings with CEOs and CIOs and whoever, and they're like, Travis, you're very casual around these people. Well, I mean, how was I? Well, I've had meetings with generals where they could put me in jail or take my take my rank. So these guys can't do that, right? So and they can take me outside, poke me in the eye with a stick or something, but that's about it. So that's I think the military gains you too. There is that ability to be able to interact, and you're right. They put on their pants just like everybody else, and they're interested in the same things you are. That commonality is great. So that honor flight, that's interesting because I would love to do something like that. How did her father take it? I mean, did he see anybody that he knew, or did you take him to the Korean War Memorial and everything? So that's a beautiful memorial, by the way.
Honor flight takes you to all of the memorials.
Hmm.
And how did he take it? His single greatest pride, other than his two children, is his service.
Hmm.
So, and his son, who doesn't understand that, was
Yeah.
could not understand why we would want to do this with him. I mean, and um, it lit this man up. I mean, he was
Hmm.
in his late 70s. Um, I have never seen him smile more. He was crippled enough that most of the stuff we had to take him in a wheelchair. But he was as alive as I've ever seen him.
He was
Um,
19 years old again. He was 19, 18, 19, 20
he
years old
was,
again.
he was, and
Yeah.
he was in aviation. I think he was a mechanic and
Hmm.
a crew chief in the Korean War.
Hmm.
On hell, I don't know what they were flying, but and what he learned from that, he carried all of his life. I mean, he was a brilliant mechanic who then went back to school and eventually taught pottery in high school for 20 years before he retired.
That's probably relaxing.
It was a way away,
Yeah.
and um, but but once we got him into the memorials, um, his conversation with the other people that were there, the other people that were on this flight, even though he had never known them before, it was like they were age-old friends. And
Yep.
then we go out to dinner, and the conversation would always begin with, well, tell me where you live, your family. And within a minute and a half, it was, well, tell me about what you were doing. And these are guys, as you know, that don't like to talk about their time in service, but with each other, they will. And it was great. I mean, I wish I'd had a microphone for some of these conversations, but if I had, it would have ruined it.
Yeah, the Forgotten War, Korean War,
Forgotten War,
right? Yeah.
Yep.
I can't wait to write a book on that. I've already got the character lined up. I just got to figure out what I'm going to do with him. So I think that would be that honor flight's cool because all the memorials are just spectacular. Every one of them tells a story.
And they tell each story so differently that if the memorials seem to in a way capture the time of what was going on. The World War II memorial, the world was going to be saved by internationalism, by all of the countries coming together, and the memorial really emphasizes that.
Yes.
And the Korean memorial were guys out on their own in a rice paddy, slogging. And the memorial says that. In the Vietnam memorial, there are 2 or 3 pieces of it, but the wall itself is as plain vanilla as it can be. It is not a celebration as much as it's just an acknowledgement of what happened and the costs.
Very moving.
It's very, very moving.
Yeah.
Yep.